Hey, it's Mark Zimmerman. Hope you're doing well today. I know we normally talk about real estate investment as a vehicle to retire rich and maybe retire a little younger than you might have planned. And of course, we're always going to talk about that. But I thought today I would talk about a concept that I was taught many years ago. I can't take credit for it, but I think it's a great illustration about, I don't know, how you live and how you might want to live. I can tell you that in every part of my life, I've swung between the 3 or 4 different phases of which I'm going to show you, and that's okay, depending on your circumstance where you're at. I'm actually trying to get to the 4th stage. But anyway, I think I'm giving you too much of a teaser. Let's go right into this, and I'm going to tell you in my own words kind of what I was taught, and we'll see if it makes sense and if it's helpful to you. So let's pull up my whiteboard real quick. Go ahead and load that up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to, of course, get a pen out because I'm going to do some drawing here on my touch screen. But what I'm talking about today is a concept that a lot of people don't always get, especially our younger folks, even our older folks, and that is income and expenses, assets, and liabilities, and how really people live, like I said, in different phases of their life through this idea of income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. So income is money that you have coming in, right? That's income. Expenses is money that you have going out. Assets are tangible items, or maybe not tangible, but they're things that you have that produce income or produce value. Your house is absolutely an asset, but it may not be an income producing asset. Maybe your rental property is an income producing asset. Maybe stocks and bonds are an income producing asset, especially if you got dividends. And then you have liabilities. Liabilities are debt. And a lot of times the liabilities are associated with the assets. So most people, especially when they start out, they've got their job. I'm going to do this here. They got their job, and their job pays them money, right? That would be income, right? And so here's one way that people live. And again, we've all gone through these different stages. I certainly have, depending on the stage of my life. But you make money with your job, you make income, and you spend the money in terms of expenses, and it goes out the door, right? You're making money and you're spending money. Now, as people start to make a little more money, if they control their expenses, they will start doing this. They'll make money, they'll have some expenses, but they'll buy, say, a boat, some type of asset. Can't draw with my finger. Maybe a house. I don't know. Buy something with debt, right? And then at the end of the month, it's all gone. But now they got a couple assets. May not be income producing assets, but they've got assets. Now, the third thing, or third way that people can buy and hold on to stuff is they make money from their job. That's income. And they also have assets that are income producing. Could be real estate, could be whatever. And that brings in money as well. And with those two, their income from their job and their income producing assets, they pay their liabilities, they pay their expenses, and out the door. Now, possibly when they did that, they created a liability, a debt, to get that rental property or whatever it may be that's income producing in order to have that income producing asset. Now, here really is where we all want to get. Are you ready for this one? I haven't quite gotten there yet, but when we retire, this is what we actually strive for, right? And that is to have enough income producing assets. That's where all of our money comes from, that we can pay our expenses and maybe a little bit of liabilities and out the door. So guess what? Now we don't need the income from the job because our income producing assets are what is producing our income, and it's enough income to pay our liabilities and our expenses. Now, when you get really cool, and out the door, when you get really cool, you'll get to a point to where your income producing assets actually just cover your expenses, and you might even have some left over, or maybe even take that money that's left over here and buy some more income producing assets. They say the rich get richer. Well, that's because they're normally buying income producing assets with that extra money and out the door. So, very simple concept that I was taught years ago. Like I've said, I've been in every scenario except the last one. I haven't quite gotten to where I own nothing but income producing assets with no liabilities. And those income producing assets provide income for me to be able to pay my expenses and have a little something left over. Now, there's a whole nother conversation we could have about using debt smartly to increase the amount of income producing assets that you can purchase, right? Which is a whole nother discussion that we'll have another time. But I hope this is helpful for you, and maybe it makes you think a little bit as you're walking through your journey, not just in being a real estate investor like we kind of focus here, but also in having other ways of creating income with those assets that are income producing, like rental property is one of the ways to basically not have to work and instead use that income to pay your expenses and have something left over. Hope this was helpful. I'm Mark Zimmerman, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, everyone. We really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe below.